Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for your booty. Hi everybody, this is Karak from ACG, and today I'm cybernetically enhanced, converting pounds to dollars and rubbing elbows with the likes of Clooney, Sean Connery, and whomever their robotic British equivalent would be as I review Swindle, the 2D thievery game of airships, procedural old-timey London, and robotic police officers. Swindle is all about the cash, robbing the homes of the poor and rich alike, and upgrading your little two-dimensional heroes that have adult movie star names like Samantha Silver and James Montana. This is a game of quick twitch reactions and a countdown to cyberdying taking over the world. It's your job to steal everything you can and delay this new AI from coming online, because when it does, all crime in the world will just suddenly stop, which makes me wonder how it's going to stop people from speeding. But that's beside the point. You got 100 days before the AI awakens, and it's time to do your job. So let's get to it. This is the review for Swindle. Robot Gatling guns, floating sentinels, triple jump gameplay, futuristic, but actually past London in 1849, and landmines that are diffused by the Konami code. Let's do this. Guess what's up first? Graphics. The moment Swindle begins, comparisons to games like Castle Crashers and This War Is Mine will start as well. The game has a dark aesthetic and a rainy, dreary attitude that's built upon by artistic design that's heavy on the blocky bodies and cel-shaded lines on objects. The art style is perfectly suited to the game and helps the gamer understand where enemies are, as some do sit somewhat solitary, and with the game's prevalent use of light and dark, it could be a hindrance if not carefully maintained. Instead, everything is colored lighting and recesses of shadow playing across various facets of the gameplay. Lighting illustrates the vision cones or laser lines of enemy's sight as it stops at solid objects and passes easily through transparent ones, making places that appear safe not so much. The entire artistic design is a callback to the more form and function of proper 2D games before everything became a race to see who could make the most complex but ultimately useless level design. Characters abound with just overall amazing atmosphere, with each little randomly generated Matt Damon, Michael Caine, and the occasional Catherine Zeta-Jones shine with random accessories and building blocks. But don't get too attached. This game does not hold any punches, literally, and animations for attacks, including guns, lasers, mines, and big dudes just trying to smash the shit out of you at every turn, are handled with perfection. The game looks beautiful, it runs amazing, and never suffered a hitch. Sound, music, and voice. And the sound is excellent, with everything from the ambient rain changing tone and resonance when inside buildings to the amazing little crunch, crunch, crunch of cobbled roofs being torn asunder by a fleeing thief being handled expertly throughout. Enemies have their own little quirks, and all their special items and weapons do as well. It's excellent and informative sound design. One standout is the hilariously apt tink, tink, tink sound as you smash a window quietly while a guard performs rounds a couple feet away. There's an attention to detail here that is just outstanding. And that brings us to music, and I love it. Though at times a callback to, I would say, older titles like Strider, Original Ninja Gaiden, and other 2D games, it also draws a good number of stringed instrument samples along for a postmodern kind of musical track that solidifies the feeling of illicit activity. It's great, a bit on the action-packed side, and that makes sense, as though this is a stealth game, when you drop into a room, defuse a mine while a guard gets ready to turn around less than 2 feet away, double jump over them, pass through a door, and then double jump over a sentry camera onto a hanging ledge, you really do feel it, and the music needs to represent that, which it does perfectly. I will say this, I really actually would have liked to have seen more tracks, because though I love the ones that were there, at times it did seem a bit samey the longer I played. And that brings us to gameplay. The little absconding adolescents and a few elderly ladies and gentlemen travel the different areas of London that progressively up both the stakes and the loot as you leap, sneak, slide, stealth, backstab, bomb, hack, and obfuscate yourself into Scrooge McDuck status. All of this is done because soon London will turn on a new surveillance AI known as the Devil's Basilisk, which could have just been called the Evil Evil, because that's sort of redundant as names go. So you need to set yourself up for the future. The game is fairly simple at the start. You have an airship, as any respectable thief would, and from it you launch sorties of little randomly created thieves into the areas of London. Each job has a particular amount of money within it, and all the levels are procedural, but with a distinct lack of poor design. You pick up, drop loot, knock out bad guys, hack computers, and then return home. Level design really is just a thing of wonder, with rooms holding all manner of assorted bad guys, but never without some way or some skill that should be able to get you past them. This is a mixture of patience and quick twitch, a sortie against the gamer's mind when you think about it, bombarding you with moments that cry for you to push through a problem, but it's all a damn trick. Despite being a platformer at heart, there is a great deal of pause and pounce gameplay here, and if you don't think before you leap, you are going to die. And I died a lot. You see, just like in America, touch a cop and you die, this world is all about danger. I was blown up, fell down massive holes, fell onto spikes, was electrocuted, and that's not all. And the moment you're seen but not instantly killed by one of the assorted enemies, the true cops are called. And as you would expect, their underreaction is to show up in a goddamn flying, smashing vehicle capable of tearing the house apart armed with Gatling guns. There is no three strikes here. If you do succeed, you jump onto your drop pod and return home. From your lordly airship looking down on the poor saps of life like Oprah, you can upgrade your hero for later jobs and unlock new areas, and the unlocks are mighty, almost for a moment overwhelming, but at the same time exciting when you see them. Everything from new hacks to new skills to slowing down the inevitable release of the evil. That's where Swindle shines its brightest, in the planning. You see, as I said, you only have 100 days, but with every new upgrade, your plans can change. Do you go to another location in London where the stakes are high and the rewards higher? Or do you upgrade your character with cybernetic eyes just because you think they're cool and keep plundering your current area with your overpowered new abilities? It's all a wonderful give and take that speaks volumes for testing and retesting of the balance within the game before release. Of course, that leaves us with fun factor. It's awesome. It's pure bliss. Listen, it's so good that I started making up names for some levels as I went through them, like Thief Grinder, Mystery Shoot, and Why So Many Spikes, and oh shit, let's just go home. Additionally, the characters are absolutely wonderful, and yet, just as you're getting accustomed to one and love their look, they die all clumsily from a misstep and are never to return. It's glorious fun through and through that never ever feels cheap. In fact, you'll find yourself to blame for every single mistake, as you will get caught up in prior success and the I got this mentality, only to enter a level where the first room is a giant metal slug with razors up its fucking back, 2 cops, a floating machine gun, and a landmine. It's a very equivalent of the word nope. So as always, I rate games on a buy, wait for sale, rent, or never talk about it again rating scale. This is a buy. The game is simply phenomenal, and even with the 100-day timeline, you're going to find yourself returning time and again to try out new skills, adjust your gameplay style, rework your plans, and see what else the excellently planned procedural gameplay is going to offer you. And it's freaking just $12. I mean, it's a steal, pun intended. So that's it for me. If you like the review, hit like. If you disliked it, hit dislike. And as always, peace out.